Baba says that the most important knowledge that you have to keep in mind, keep in your intellect, is the knowledge of the past, present, and future. So keep rotating the chakra in your buddhi. Now, I was just thinking about this. You see, that why does Baba say that you keep rotating the chakra? Now, you see that if there is a person and he brings a cloth which is tied in knots and gives it to you, and then he says, you open the knots, then you will be interested in knowing how those knots were tied in the first place. Because if you know how they were tied, you can open it up. So, this whole cycle that Baba explains to us, from being a deity to falling down, to again coming and becoming a Brahmin, to becoming a deity again. In this cycle, Baba explains what happened that we fell down. So what was the reason for the downfall? Because you see, two yugas, 2500 years, everything was just perfect. It was the golden age, silver age, it was heaven. And then what really happened which made us fall? So Baba says, from in the copper age, in Dwapar Yuga, Ravan came. And Baba explains that Ravan means the 5 vices. Yes, and you know that just like God has a voice, God speaks. Similarly, these 5 vices also speak. These vices have their own method of, talking to us and directing us. So there is the voice of lust, voice of anger, voice of ego, voice of greed, voice of attachment. And you can hear it in your head, can't you? So whenever lust is speaking, you know that now that you recognize, you know that this is the voice of lust. You know that this is the voice of anger, don't you? So just like, Baba gives his opinion and direction, Ravan also enters through opinions and directions, which we call Ravan Mat. So Ravan also doesn't just, come just like that. So just like Baba tells us, truth, false, right, wrong, do this, don't do that, Ravan also gives his own opinion. And Baba has just one mouth and one voice. But Ravan, in the image also it is depicted that Ravan has 10 mouths. Yes, so, once when I was, maybe 15-20 years back, I used to have this thought, because I was not in Gyan, so I didn't know that Ravan means vices. So I used to think Ravan is some person. Okay, and so just like it's told in the scriptures. And then I used to wonder, how would Ravan eat? From which mouth Ravan would eat? So he has 10 mouths, so which mouth would he be eating from? But, the interesting thing is, the question to really ask is, Ravan has 10 mouths to speak. And when he speaks, it gets really loud. So Baba speaks so softly. Yes, Baba has only one mouth, very sweetly, very softly. Baba speaks the Murli through that mouth, and that mouth is also on loan So he doesn't even have ownership over that one mouth. But Ravan has so many mouths, figuratively, and so many voices of Ravan. So, when lust is speaking, anger is speaking, every vice has a different voice, a different opinion, and they try to drive our intellect crazy. So, that is how it works. And then Baba says, when you get swayed away by these vices, so then you start self sabotage. You begin to self sabotage, you become, so through your own actions, through your own thought process, through your own creation of feelings and rituals and social rules and everything, what you do is you dig your own grave, and then what you do is you create those belief systems, those rituals, those social setup, everything you create based on the voice of Ravan. Yes, and you see that up until Baba comes, we are not even aware. So just take this one belief system about lust. So the voice of lust convinces you that you cannot stay happy, or you cannot even stay with dignity. So, your dignity, your happiness, your peace, everything is related to your engagement is in lust after a certain age. So, you are allowed to stay pure for some time. So, maybe these days, the bar is getting lower and lower. So, I remember there was this one girl, and she is, I think, 13, 14 years old. She's in school. And when she came, her mother told me she's into depression and she has social anxiety and this and that. And then I told her mother if you would allow me to speak in private with her. So she said, okay. Then I asked her, why do you feel social anxiety? Why don't you want to go to school? What is the problem? So then she said, everybody in my class has a boyfriend. So every girl in my class has a boyfriend and nobody looks at me. So there is something wrong with me. I'm not attractive, I'm not good enough. So I don't feel like going to school, because when I go to school, I feel worse about myself. So you see that earlier, up until I think you graduated, or when people started talking about your marriage, you didn't know that you have to be attractive and that makes you worthy. And if somebody is not looking at you with a lustful eye, then there is something wrong with you. And then if you are not invoking lust in somebody, then there is some problem with you, or your value is lesser than other people's values. But you see, this voice of lust is dictating all these belief systems. And then there is so much of this talk and this noise about how lust and your engagement in lustful activity determines your dignity, your your value, or how worthy you are, or how happy you are in life. So there are so many belief systems attached to that, which we keep creating, keep perpetuating in the society. Yes, and this is very, very subtle, because when you want to listen to Baba, you have to come to the class. But when you want to listen to Ravan, then everywhere there is Ravan. So everybody is a mouth of Ravan. So, and even the internet and your phone and everything is an instrument of Ravan. So sometimes I think about Baba's predicament, that Baba has just this one tiny mouth, and and Ravan has so many mouths and so many ways in which he penetrates into our intellect and into our mind, and when Baba wants to penetrate into our intellect and mind, then he has to make us cooperate with him. He has to make us, sit for the Murli and sit for Amrit Vela. But when we are not sitting in Amrit Vela, when we are not sitting for the Murli, I remember in earlier days what happened is, once I missed Amrit Vela for I think 7 to 8 days, and then I was struggling with some problem, and then I was not getting the solution, and I was pretty bogged down with that problem. And then after 7 to 8 days, once you miss Amrit Vela, then starting it all over again becomes very difficult. And then I had to muster all my strength and courage, and then I sat for Amrit Vela again. And then when I sat, within 15 to 20 minutes, I received a touching which gave me a solution to that which I was struggling with. And I felt like if I did it this way, probably I'll get the solution. And then I told Baba, so children are very, very interesting. So I told Baba, why can't you give me a touching earlier? So it is very harsh of you to make me suffer for. So I used to talk to Baba like this. So you connect with Baba in many ways depending on your stage. So early days I'm talking about. So I just told Baba, so you like me to suffer or what? 7-8 days I'm struggling with this problem, and you're not giving me any touching, no help, no direction, and I really don't like this. And then Baba says that, Baba, really I heard that voice and I felt that Baba told me, but you came only today. You didn't come to me. So, and then I remembered, in one Murli I had read that Baba said that I have given my children special meeting time, which is 4 to 5. And then there is meeting time for the whole world. So, when there is a private appointment, then you missed it. So, how can I help you? So, and in all that noise of the whole world, complaining and crying and begging and asking, how will I listen to you? So, I just felt that thing. And so, what I was saying is, when Baba wants to talk to us, Baba has to, encourage us for Amrit Vela and to listen to the Murli. And if we don't do that, then really that connection with Baba doesn't become that strong. But for Ravan, it is so easy. Ravan is in every aspect of our life. And the voice of lust keeps, hitting the intellect all the time. Or for that matter, the voice of anger. And we are all good people, moral people, so righteous anger. So, we don't believe in anger, we only believe in righteous anger. And we believe in corrective anger. So, we believe in anger that is right, and we believe in anger that corrects others. So, we get angry for the good of others. So this voice of anger keeps dictating our actions, and every time there is a point where somebody is not doing things your way, or they are not thinking your way, then you think it's some kind of a moral duty to get angry and get forceful and make that person understand, and you think that you are doing great service to the society by doing that. So, by shouting at that person, screaming at that person. And I don't know how much idea you have that about the damage your anger can do. So, I don't know, most people in the world, they don't have any idea about how much damage your anger and expression of anger can do to yourself and others. So we are really not aware. And I have seen children losing their whole personalities. So they lose their whole confidence, their personalities. They become literally spiritually crippled because of the anger which they are subjected to. And in early days, because we also saw, this experience came from observation. And I saw many children and many families who came with their problems and their situations. And I could see how much damage the anger of one person in the family has done to all the others. And if you look at the situation in the world today, then women above 45, 50 most women are in depression. So most women above 50, above the age of 50 or somewhere in that bracket, they are suffering from sadness, depression and other stuff. Why? Because they have been subjected to a lot of anger by some male in the family. And we don't understand the association between anger and mental health. And sometimes, you just look at it very, I have seen people, children who were subjected to anger by their parents and who have grown up to be professionals and they're earning very well, but that trauma still stays with them. And there is one sister, she told me that when we were children, so my father used to be a very angry person, and he used to just, when we went for a bath or something, we used the bathroom, then he would just keep knocking on the door after 5 minutes and ask us to, hurry up. So that was his method. Probably there was one bathroom in the house or whatever was the condition earlier. But he used to just, shout from outside, you're getting late and everybody will get late because of you, and you just come out. And she says that, now we live in a big mansion and there are so many bathrooms, but when I visit my father's place and I go for a bath, I can hear him shout even today. So I just feel after 5 minutes that I have to hurry up and come out because my father will shout. And this kind of a trauma we leave on the person we subject, we make our subject of anger. And of course, it does more damage to ourselves because the person receiving the anger is so damaged, then the person creating it is damaged much more than that. So Baba says that this anger, so this voice of anger that, probably the way to get along with others or the way to come on the same page with others or the way to, operate with others is through anger. So if you want to communicate something, it can only be communicated through anger and force. So that is Ravan mat. And what is Baba's mat? Every communication is only better when it is loveful. So communication is only done in love. You never communicate with another person when you are not loveful. So there is no communication which takes place when there is no love. So you may subdue the person, subjugate the person, force the person. All that can happen when there is no love. But communication or that link of the heart which takes place through communication cannot happen when there is no love, no respect. And no relationship can be forced through anger. So we think that there is a relationship which we are sustaining through anger, but that person will only listen to you until they don't have an option, you know. Say, so the first moment they get an option, they are going to leave you and run away. So you think that that's a relationship. That's not a relationship. You will only be able to keep that person in your life until they don't find someone who provides them with what they are getting from you. So whatever facility, whatever sustenance you're giving them, until they find that from another source, they are not going to they will just leave when they find that. So this Ravan mat, which tells you that anger has any benefit, is a very vicious mat, and we get caught up in this, and then our intellect is full of this Ravan mat. Then greed. So you are defined by what you have, and greed, which tells you that if you there is a difference between greed and ambition. So being ambitious, having the ambition to do good work, earn better is good. But then when there is greed, you say, I just have to earn more, have more, by hook or by crook. So when you say by hook or by crook, that's greed. So when you do not pay attention to the means, only to the end, then it's greed driving you. But if you are paying attention to the means and the end, then it's fine. So doing good work, getting ahead in life, that's not a problem. Everybody should aspire to do better every day, and that's Srimat. But when you think that the end will justify the means, that's when you are in greed. So the end will not justify the means. The means have to be checked, the means have to be correct, and if the means are not proper, they are not right, then what happens is that you are falling into the trap of greed. To bargain or to find something with correct price, is this greed? No. But you have to also check your because time is money, people say. And when you are bargaining or finding something for the correct price, then you're using your time. So you must also evaluate whether the time you're spending is more valuable than the extra money you will spend if you found it for a little higher price. Okay, so that is also to be checked, because I will give you an example in this. There is this one brother who goes to the vegetable store and he will pick every bhindi and check whether it's good or not. And then he would, 1 kilo of bhindi he will select like that. And then same for the tomatoes and the potatoes and everything. And he spends almost 2.5 hours in the vegetable shop checking every vegetable. And then and then he once told that vendor, I am afraid you will cheat me. And then he said, what will I get by cheating you? When you go back home and check, you will bring it back to me. You don't mind your time, right? So you will get it back to me and I will have to change and give it to you. So you're the only person I don't cheat. So have some trust, don't waste your time. That vendor told that person this in front of me. So I was a witness to that. So this is something about greed. So greed doesn't make you see that what you're losing in the process, because you're so fixed about what you're getting that you don't mind losing your peace, your happiness, your values, your time, anything up behind after it. So that is greed. So I gave you the example of three vices and how they have messed up with our thought process. So similarly with ego and with attachment, you think about it today. And this is how we fall, because Ravan has so many mouths and then he keeps dictating to us and we keep acting on it and we keep spoiling our own karma and we keep feeling less than, we keep feeling valueless and we keep feeling that I don't have worth if I don't have, my lust is not quenched, or I'm not getting everything that other person is getting because of greed. So this is Ravan Mat. And then we keep losing our peace, our happiness, our self-worth, and we keep spoiling our karma on the dictates of Ravan. And this is how we keep falling. And then today Baba says that I make you win over Ravan or Maya. I make you conquer Ravan through yoga power, when your intellect is connected in yoga with me, and through the power of knowledge. So, and Baba today says that when you win over the battle with Maya, then you become the conqueror of the world. So you see that there is a lot of praise of Raj Yoga in the world. So today Baba gives a very good definition. Baba says, the ancient yoga of Bharat is very well known, right? You conquer Ravan with it and claim the kingdom of heaven. So everybody says that there is some ancient yoga in Bharat which is very powerful. But nobody knows what do you get from that yoga. And now suddenly people think that through that ancient yoga, which is physical exercise, you get health. Yes, but Baba says that ancient yoga of Bharat makes you conquer Ravan and claim the kingdom of heaven. So nobody knows that through Raj Yoga we learn to conquer Ravan and claim our kingdom of heaven. And Baba says that how do you conquer Ravan? So Baba says you conquer Ravan by you conquer Maya with the power of your intellect's yoga and the power of knowledge. So now, so just like I told you that Ravan has so many instruments. So your phone, your people around you, even your body is Ravan's instrument. How is your body Ravan's instrument? Because your body also tells you that lust is a biological need. And if you have created the habit of alcohol or, eating stuff which is not good for the soul, then your body will you dictate to you that I'm getting into withdrawal and I'm not feeling good about it. So even your body is a voice of Ravan. So Baba says that everyone and everything around you is Ravan's instrument, Ravan's mouth. So whatever your body is saying, so if you start eating sattvic food first, then your tongue will say, onion tastes better, this is so bland, so insipid. So that's the voice of Ravan. Or you start eating healthy also, your body will say, no, I don't like it, I'm hungry, I'm not full yet. Or if you practice purity, then you feel like there is some physical need which you're not addressing. So all these voices of the body, all these voices of people around you, all these voices of, circumstances, and whatever you read, hear, listen to, see on the internet, on your phone, on the TV, everything is telling you, Ravan mat. And so Baba says, how do you conquer Ravan? First, by having yoga with Baba. Yoga means mine is one Shiv Baba and none other. I don't care about the body or what the other people are saying or what is the general opinion or what the world is saying. So, the whole world is saying that if you don't eat non-vegetarian, then, you will have protein deficiency. So, if you are in yoga with that thought process, then you will start feeling loss of energy if you are not having non-vegetarian food. So Baba says, you have to have yoga with only me, because the one you have yoga with, their belief system, their state of mind starts influencing you. And having yoga with just one Baba and none other is something that we have to really strive for, because it's a matter of deep practice that I am a soul and all my relationships, all my attainments are with Baba and none other. And when Baba says something, that's the only thing that's going to benefit me. So if I listen to the body or the world or anything, or even my own belief systems, my sanskars, it is not going to do me any good. Only one Baba and his Srimad is going to do me good. That kind of faith I need to have in Baba. And Baba says, when you have your intellect's yoga with just me, and in the blessing, Baba gives a very beautiful understanding that Baba is my world. So in the blessing, Baba says, children who love Baba know that Baba is my world. And when we say Baba is my world, what does it mean? In the world, we need things and relationships, attainments and the love of relationships. And we don't need one relationship, we need many relationships and the sweetness of all relationships. And then we need attainments. So Baba says, when you say Baba is my world, then it comes from a place where you deeply understand that the sweetness of all relationships and the fulfillment of all attainments is something that I can get from just one Baba. And when you understand that deeply, then you have deep yoga with Baba. And in that yoga with Baba, the other factors are not able to pull your intellect, and then you are able to win over Ravan. So you are able to conquer Maya, win over Ravan, if your yoga is connected with Baba only. And then the second thing Baba says, power of knowledge. So, Ravan gives belief systems. Ravan gives, Ravan ka gyan. So Ravan also gives a lot of gyan. So Baba says that you need to have the power of the true knowledge to defeat Ravan. Now, have you seen that when we used to watch mythological serials in older times, then there was this scene where, two enemies would go on war, and then there would be this one person pulling out the arrow and striking it, and then the other one also pulling out his arrow and striking it. and they would meet somewhere in the middle, and then the more powerful arrow would defeat the less powerful one. And it is something like what we do inside. So, there is this power of knowledge that we have right now. And then there is old, sanskars and belief systems which are there inside us. So let's take one example. Let's take the question of purity. So when you first think about purity, then there is, so your belief system will say, so if I really become very strict about purity, then other people in the family will not like it, and I will face a lot of, flack from them, and there'll be a lot of challenges. And do I have the power, or will I get, I will not be, I don't think I have the courage to do that. And then knowledge says that purity is my original sanskar. I have been pure for 2 yugas. So Satyug, Treta Yuga, I was pure. And in any case, I am the child of the ocean of purity. So purity comes very naturally to me. And then why would I not be able to get through something which is my original sanskar? So, every day we read the Murli and Baba gives us knowledge. And then here we have this whole, the opposite of knowledge filled inside us. And then there is a war which takes place between the two. And then Baba says, if you have power of knowledge, which is, knowledge is full in your buddhi, and you have faith in that knowledge, because when we say power, it means understanding plus faith. So, power of knowledge means understanding plus faith. Only understanding will not do, only faith will not do. So, when you have proper understanding of what is what, and you have full faith in it, then that power makes you win over whatever is being dictated by your own old sanskars, or whatever other people are telling you. You are not able to be influenced by that, and you are able to conquer all those things and stay in your pursuit of doing action based on knowledge. So this is how Baba says you will win. And Baba says the ancient yoga of Bharat, which is very well known, is about this, and I am teaching you how to conquer Ravan and become the master of heaven. So this is today's Murli.